that kind of stuff. But no, I mean, other than that, no, trees are safe. I love trees. Yeah, we always try to. Yeah, we want it to be all those things.
Okay, it's 3:01. Let's call the meeting of the Urban Design Commission to order, and I'll take roll. George McChristian here. Jeff Struble? Here. Betsy Brunstetter? Brian Fitzsimmons? Matt Guillory? Long Nguyen? Here. John Robinson? There. Okay, that's 4. We have quorum. Approval of the minutes. Are there any questions or comments about the minutes? If there are no objections, we will consider them approved by unanimous consent. The next item that requires action on the agenda is 6A, 916 Northwest 8th Street. Michael?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is a proposal to demolish the existing residence on the site and to build a new structure in its place. We've outlined for you in the staff report the issues we've identified with respect to compliance with the regulations and applicable guidelines. The first of which is just the fact that they are demolishing the residence, and as is custom, we do refer to the Phase 3 survey and outline all the parameters that are associated with that review and the designation of that house as a potentially viable candidate for a historic district. At the same time, we are also obligated to relate to the committee the information from the applicant regarding the structural deficiencies and defects in the residence that make it difficult to rehabilitate and renovate, and we've done that for you in the staff report. There are some photos also provided by the applicant in the packet that document those conditions. And then secondly, there's a guideline that relates to the use of wood siding for single-family residential properties. And it does allow for the use of wood siding provided that the product is determined to be durable and high quality. And we've talked to the applicant about what he's proposed to do with that material on this project. And we feel that it is a high-quality material, and we're prepared to suggest to the committee that a commission that that material is acceptable. There is a house actually directly across the street and 2 lots over on the north side of Northwest 8th that has used that material both in the house and in the fencing that's tied into the house. So it seems to be something that's picking up in terms of popularity. So with respect to our recommendation to the commission, we've provided for you an alternate recommendation. One is that if the commission feels that it is not significant to the house is not significant to the district in terms of historical significance, that you approve the application as proposed. And then secondarily, if the commission does feel that it is significant to the city or district, that you deny the application for the demolition. That completes our presentation. We're prepared to respond to any questions the commission may have.
All right. Are there any questions for Michael at this stage? The applicants are here, and also a neighbor is here as well. Okay, maybe we could just take this in 2 parts, talking about the demo first and then talk about the new structure. And thank you for your packet. I thought it was really helpful. Did you want to speak a little bit more about the condition of the building and why you think demolition is the right approach?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir, please.
We do a lot of investment properties. We've done a lot in the areas. When we run into these type of homes, the minute you start pulling them apart, because of the age, they tend to start falling apart, and you end up having to rebuild the full foundation, all the walls, and by the time you're done, you're rebuilding the entire house. We also note that built in the early 1900s, that it's going to most likely have lead-based, asbestos, and every other hazardous material that we're not allowed to touch anymore, right? And removing it and disposing of it usually ends up being the safest and best option, especially for cost, not to try to, improve upon something that, is at the end of its lifetime, right? So that's kind of where we want to go with the demolition. When we pull off the floor, we're going to we intend to keep the existing stem wall. When we pull off the floor, what we want to do is that will give us the easiest way to sit there and look at absolutely everything and go, okay, this is broken, bad, needs to appear, or needs to be cut out and redone, my engineer is going to take a look at everything and make sure that he can sign off on it, but also that we can actually rehabilitate the footprint of the house itself. So that's about it for the demo.
Okay. Just a point of order. Paula, did you need a name and... okay. Would you mind just stating your name and...
Adam Hawes, Hawes. Absolutely.
Did any of the commissioners have a question regarding the condition of the structure and particularly about the demolition?
Well, can I add one more thing, too?
Of course.
We're actually going to do our best. We were talking with the neighbor as well. When we put in there removing all vegetation, we're mainly talking about, obviously, the overgrown shrubbery and things like that. We're going to try to preserve all the trees, as many of the trees as humanly possible without, there's one that's crawling right into the foundation that has to be removed. I mean, even if we rehabilitated the house, it'd have to be removed. But the rest of the trees we love, and they're beautiful. They're big, beautiful trees, and we'll keep we'll prune them up and make them beautiful, but we intend to keep as many as we can. So.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions about the demolition? Sir, did you want to speak about, meaning addressing the neighbor, did you want to speak about the demolition of the house, or
Actually, it was about the vegetation. My name is Kevin Thurman. I own the property right to the west of it. And after talking to the trees, I love these guys because he said he loves trees. Because if they were to take down the 15 trees that are on that existing lot now, that makes a total of 62 trees gone within the cottage district because of all the other developers. They just come in there and mow the lot down. No respect for 60, 70, 80-year-old pecan trees or oak trees or cedar trees or anything that's been there. It's just a clean slate. But after talking to these guys, they want to save the trees. So no, I have no problem with that. I think it's fantastic.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we're actually going to hand demo the house. We're not bringing in any backhoes. So it's going to be 10, 15 guys and a bunch of dumpsters and taking apart piece. But I don't want to wreck the foundation. I don't want to cause any more damage, and I don't want to wreck the lot, the retaining wall, and absolutely everything else that could cause it. Sorry.
Any questions from the commissioners thus far?
Well, I just asked Lisa, this is a very minor detail, but the number 2 material on the, I don't know what elevation that is. Anyway, it says 8-foot stain grade knotty pine V groove. My assumption is that is like a 1x6 solid wood, but I'm just checking that that's not some kind of T111 siding or anything like that.
Oh, no, absolutely not. They're individual pieces. They're not extremely thick because they get nailed onto the plywood. They get stapled onto the plywood, but it is a solid piece of V-groove pine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a masonite product or MDF product. It's solid wood. We will be staining it and clear coating it with a UV-resistant exterior grade stain and sealer. That way it lasts a long time.
What's the sheathing that you're going to use?
We are debating between going with just the 7/16 OSB or going with the zip system. Either way, it'll be either 7/16 OSB with house wrap and taped, or it'll be the sheathing and running the zip. You guys are familiar with the zip system? Yeah. Depending on kind of what we decide to do with the insulation. If we do bad insulation, we'll go and do the zip system. If we do spray foam insulation, we'll probably do the, just for breathability, we'll do the Tyvek. So.
Any other questions?
Can I ask another question?
Sure, of course.
It looks like all the windows are a little bit different on the second floor. Is that correct? There's
Different in
some with-
size?
Yeah, it looks like there's like a 4-pane, a 2, maybe that one is over a
They go to the
double hung
elevations, yeah.
type of,
They are all different, little different sizes, fitting with the design on where they're being placed, inside and out. So if we look on number 4 on the front of the house, we have, the 2 similar in shape windows, but they're different sizes. Mm-hmm. And then if we go to the
East elevation?
East elevation.
Talking about this one. It looks like a 4-pane.
Oh, yeah, no, that's probably just the program. Yeah, no, they're just flat, clear view windows. These ones are bedroom windows, so they will be functional for egress, though.
So they'll be like a double hung window?
Exactly.
Okay.
With
All
the
of
sash.
those?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, these ones. Yeah, through a window, through a window. Oh, it's the program's seeing a door behind the window. So you're seeing actually straight through it into a door. The program's funny that way. It threw us for a few loops.
One of the things that we request, I think it's actually is to know the relationship between this house and the houses around it.
The setback, you mean?
Yeah.
I think that's in the packet.
I just haven't seen it. I don't know that it's not here.
It was on one of the pages for sure. We did an aerial view and showed the setback's not going to change at all. Yeah, right here on page 16 of 28. Oh, wait, no, that's the plot plan. I apologize.
It's
Page 15.
It's right before that, 15 of
Oh, I skipped it. Thank you.
15 of 28.
Yes, yeah, right there.
It jumped right under it.
Yeah, the blue line is just indicating, the setback, and because we're using the existing stem wall, it's not going to change at all. And we're actually using the existing front steps as well. No need to pour new steps.
Any other questions? Betsy, anything more? No? Good. Okay. Any motions at this point? Anyone? Bueller?
I will, do we have to move separately for the demolition?
No.
Hold on. We have a little problem. The demolition isn't on the agenda. What's on the agenda is to construct a single-family residence.
Well, the items for consideration included the demolition.
The agenda, yeah, is
Oh,
how we comply with the Open Meeting Act. So we have the construction, but not the demolition.
I thought the demolition
consider.
was stated on page.
It's in the staff report.
Okay.
But the actual agenda is what we use to comply with the
I think it's in the
Open
scope of
Meeting Act.
work. Hold on, let me see here.
It's in there.
Yeah, we're not saying you didn't ask for it, we're saying we didn't list it
Oh, I
on the
got you on
agenda.
your agenda.
Yeah, on the
I'm
public
sorry.
agenda, but yeah, you're
Yeah, yours
good.
is
I
fine.
got 28 pages here. I'm just trying to figure
You
it out.
covered it all. But
can we
the
make a
agenda,
recommendation for demolition, or do we need to?
we can't
wait
take
until
any
next?
action.
Okay.
The only action is whether or not the applicant can construct a single-family residence.
Well, let me ask you this, is the fact that we did put the address in there, 916 Northwest 8th Street, and it's, there is currently a house there, that's public information. So therefore, to construct a single-family residence where a current residence already exists, doesn't that imply there's going to be demo necessary?
I think it does probably imply it, but this body might have a separate opinion about whether or not the structure could be demolished and whether or not a new structure could be built. As a matter of fact, I think that's kind of where you're heading with the discussion, taking it one at a time, but the only thing that's on here to consider is the construction. So if you were to take action on the demolition, you would be in violation of the Open Meeting Act.
So what is our opportunity to help this guy move forward? Do we have to wait until the next meeting? in
You
order
could
to do
call a
this?
special meeting, you could approve the construction if that was your desire, and then you could have a special meeting to approve the demolition.
Could we allow the demolition to be administratively approved?
Is it administratively approvable?
No.
It's just, I know these things happen, but my feeling is that the applicant, through no fault of their own, is being held up because of, something that the city did or didn't do.
What's your time frame on construction? Where are you at on your...
Like ASAP. This is certain processes run quickly and certain processes run, but we'd like to get rolling on it.
How about, Rita, how about, if we ever do a phone consensus, it has to be an open meeting.
By code, because we're in downtown, the list of things that are administratively approvable is under that part of the code, and the threshold there is 20,000 square feet. So, per code, it is administratively approvable to demolish the house. However, as a matter of practice, we've been bringing these to the commission because it's the cottage district and there's been concern expressed about the demolition of homes and so on and so forth. So we've been doing that out of practice, but it is technically by code administratively approvable for the demolition.
So we could vote for that.
Well, in my mind, we appreciate your bringing it before us so we can discuss it. Just in this case, we've discussed it, so we've checked that box, and you could then go ahead with your administrative approval, I would think.
Well, also, if we vote for the construction of a new structure in that place, wouldn't that automatically signal to Michael that that would be okay to administratively approve it?
You would think so, because he couldn't put the new house on top of the old house. So.
Right. Well, and actually, as Michael pointed out, per code, he doesn't really need any special dispensation to approve demolition, because it's DTD1, it's not cottage district, and it's below the square foot threshold.
Yeah.
It looks like it's resolved.
So just so the applicant knows what's going on, what would the timing be and what would the logistics be? So we would take a vote here. Let's just assume that we we approve construction of single-family residence. What would then happen regarding the administrative approval for the demolition?
We would probably handle the administrative part of the demolition as part of this application, not make them file a new one separate for that.
Okay.
And we probably generate that certificate of approval sometime by the middle of next week.
Okay. And we would just find out about it
It'll be on your administrative approval report next meeting.
for the next meeting. Okay. That sounds good. Okay, great. Well, thank you, everybody, for your diligence on that one. By the way, are there any motions on this?
I move we proceed with the application. We approve the application.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Obeson, a second by Ms. Brunstetter. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the item is approved. Thank you very much.
You'll see us around, so if you ever want to talk to your wife.
Betsy, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think as I asked for the motion, you were just about to say something. Did you hit?
I just wondered if we wanted to have more discussion about, sorry, Paul.
I wanted to know if we wanted to have more conversation about the demolition,
Okay.
but obviously we didn't, so that's okay.
All righty. Okay, next item, 8A1, or the administrative approvals. Michael, you don't have to go into these if there are any you feel you want to highlight, or if not.
Just a sign for a dance studio on 23rd Street, and then the replacement of a door for a previously approved CA in the Plaza District.
Okay, excellent. Any comments from Planning Department staff?
Did everybody get the memo, literally, that the demolition ordinance workshop is not day after tomorrow? We moved it to September 19th at 8:30 because everybody was leaving town, so we moved it.
Okay. Comments from commission members? Comments or questions? I had one quick question, and that is the new language with the term limits and all that, that's been approved?
Yes, that ordinance was approved in June, and it was effective as of end of July. And so there are, per the document, there are various structural changes, but commissioners can continue to serve until they are replaced, and that's, since we haven't had any new, we've sent documentation to the mayor's office saying, hey, here's the composition of the boards, here's who's expiring, here are the new positions, and we've received no new appointees, so for this board and every other commission, they're just maintaining their existing memberships,
Okay.
which is legal.
Right, because you can continue to serve until a replacement's been found. I think it might help us, though, for our planning and also for finding people to replace us in succession, transition, all that. If you could, and I know you guys are swamped, it's just an idea, if you could just lay out a sheet with all of our names and kind of let us know, where we fit into the new structure and when our term limit will be, just so we know and can see if we need to recruit other people to backfill us?
We can do that. We essentially have that. We'll update. We can update it and get it to you.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, the next meeting date is here on the agenda. If there are no objections, we will consider ourselves adjourned by unanimous consent. Thank you.